You're sitting there scrolling, knowing you need to make that phone call, start that project, or have that difficult conversation. But you're waiting to feel confident first. Here's what nobody tells you. Confidence has nothing to do with feeling ready and everything to do with doing it scared. I've started my own business, led a small team, given presentations while terrified out of my mind, and somehow I'm still here. If you want to know how to stay calm under pressure, stop overthinking, and build real confidence, here's exactly how to do it. Most people have confidence completely backwards. They think confidence is something you need before you take action. It's not. Confidence is what you get after you take action. I used to think the same way. Everyone tells you to just believe in yourself, like it's some magic switch you can flip. When I was in college, I literally had affirmations written on my bathroom mirror. I am strong, I am capable, I am confident. You know what happened? Absolutely nothing. Those words didn't change how I felt for even 5 minutes. The reason affirmations don't work is simple. Confidence comes from action, not affirmations. Your mood follows your actions, not the other way around. When you keep promises to yourself, especially when you don't feel like it, that's what builds real confidence. Think about it like getting in shape. You can't just think about being fit, wish you were fit, or write "I am fit" on your mirror. You have to get in the gym, do the work, eat the right foods. You can't wish for it, you have to work for it. Confidence works exactly the same way. Right after college, I had $3,000, no plan, and a harsh realization. My degree didn't prepare me for the real world. I moved to a new city and took the only job that paid commission, sales. Rent was $900, bills were closing in, and I had less than 2 months before I ran out of options. I had no skills, no experience, and no confidence. But I understood one thing: no one was coming to save me. I could either figure it out or fall behind. So I treated survival like a skill. I studied every night, learned from top performers, and practiced until I started earning respect, not from others, but from myself. The lesson here: you don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your habits. Skill building is a daily decision, not a one-time breakthrough. My first win wasn't big, but it proved something more valuable than money. Progress is possible. And that belief became the foundation for everything else. Confidence is built, not found. It comes from doing the hard thing before you feel ready, especially when your brain is screaming for safety. Oh, and quick heads up, I just rolled out channel memberships here on YouTube. If you'd like to support the channel and get perks like priority replies to your comments or help shape future videos with your topic suggestions, hit that join button below. Would love to have you in the inner circle. My friend, here's something crucial. Your brain gathers evidence, and evidence is what builds identity and confidence over time. When my friends tell me I want a side project, but I'm not confident I can pull it off, I tell them it would be crazy to expect confidence when you've never done it before. Our brains are designed to predict what's likely to happen. If you've never done something before, your brain says, I don't know what could happen, so I'm going to make you scared. If you're scared, you'll avoid it. You avoid it, you won't die. Your brain is wired for survival, not success. You will become confident once you've done the thing because your brain sees you didn't die and says, okay, you can do it again. But confidence is like a muscle. If you don't work it out regularly, it gets weak. That's why you need a system. When I wanted to get in better shape after college, I didn't start by trying to feel confident about my body. I started doing what fit people do, eating like them, working out like them, even following their routines online. But the most important thing I did was track everything. I tracked what I ate, when I worked out, how I felt. I didn't lose 10 pounds between Monday and Tuesday, but I noticed that even when I felt like I overate or my workout sucked, I was still making progress over time. Maybe not day to day, but week to week, month to month. That's when I realized confidence comes from data, not dopamine. The evidence you feed your brain helps override the emotional stories you tell yourself. Your brain follows evidence, and tracking gives you objective proof of your progress. Before tracking, I would remember the bad days and forget the good ones. But when I looked at the data, I'd see I actually had 5 good days and only 2 bad ones that week. Our brains naturally focus on the negative and make it bigger than it is. Tracking fights that tendency by showing you the truth. I've been thinking about this a lot lately, and I'm really curious about your experience with this. Have you ever had a situation where you felt like you weren't making progress, but when you actually looked back at what you'd accomplished, you realized you were doing better than you thought? What helped you see your real progress? Because I think a lot of people struggle with this disconnect between how they feel and what's actually happening. If you're tracking but still not feeling confident, you're probably trying to go too big. The fastest way to build confidence is to start with something so small you literally cannot fail. I learned this from watching how my manager trained new people at my sales job. For the first week, he didn't make them make actual sales calls. He had them practice their introduction for 5 minutes a day and listen to one successful call recording. That's it. Why? Because he wanted them to feel good about completing something by the end of 7 days. That small win created the confidence they needed to take the next step. People think small progress won't feel rewarding, but that's not true. You'll feel good about any progress, no matter how small, as long as you acknowledge it. When I started my own side business, I set big goals, but broke them down into tiny daily actions. Instead of launch a business, it was research one competitor today, or write one paragraph of my business plan. If I have 20 small steps for each big goal, I get to check off progress every single day. It's funny how overwhelming those big goals feel until I realize I'm checking off at least one piece every day. If I tried to tackle everything in 1 week, I'd fail and feel terrible about myself, but focusing on just one small step per day creates momentum and makes me feel like I'm the kind of person who follows through on what they say they'll do. My framework for this is tiny tweaks. What's one tiny tweak I can make today, and what's one tiny tweak I can make tomorrow? For example, if I eat too much junk food one day, I don't say no junk food tomorrow. I say I'll have one less snack tomorrow. If I want to get better at public speaking but I'm terrified, I don't sign up for a big presentation. I start by speaking up once in my next team meeting. Over time, I went from being afraid to speak up in meetings, to volunteering, to run parts of meetings, then leading client calls, then giving presentations to the whole office. Eventually, I spoke at a local business meetup, but it started with just raising my hand once in a meeting. But here's what happens when you try to take action, but you're still too scared to even start with the baby steps. There's one crucial mindset shift that changes everything about how you handle fear, and it's probably the opposite of what you think. My friend, here's what you need to understand. Emotion follows motion, not the other way around. The key to everything I've accomplished, starting my business, giving presentations, leading a team, is that I learned to tolerate fear and discomfort instead of trying to eliminate it. I was no less scared than you are right now watching this video. I just decided I was willing to be scared. I decided I was willing to be uncomfortable. Fear is a mile wide and an inch deep. Fear means your brain is working properly. It's not wrong that you feel scared. What's stopping you is thinking you need to get rid of the fear before you do the thing, but that's not how your brain works. Your brain is wired for survival, not success. It will keep you scared until you prove it's safe by doing the thing. The fear will be strongest right before you break through. But here's what I've learned. Once you step into the situation you're scared of, you can't control whether the fear goes away. So it will go away whether you want it to or not. That's how we're physiologically wired. This shift in mindset changed everything for me, and I go even deeper into it in my weekly newsletter. I share real stories, mindset tools, and what's been helping me lately. If you're curious, the link's below. My friend, when I have to give a presentation, which still makes me nervous every time, here's what happens. Mouth dry, palms sweaty, heart pounding. Within 15 seconds, my heart rate starts to calm down. Within a minute, I can swallow again. Within 2 minutes, I don't feel any of it. Not because I tried to get rid of the fear, but because I didn't run away. Here's how I want you to think about confronting fear. Picture that thing you're scared of. Maybe it's a difficult conversation, telling your boss you want a promotion, starting that side project, asking someone out. Instead of trying to meditate the fear away or think positive thoughts, you're going to take the fear, put it in your backpack, and take it with you. You're not trying to get rid of it, you're taking it as your companion. You know it's there, you feel it in your stomach, you don't necessarily like it, but you're doing the thing anyway. That's how I approach everything in life. I'm not confident because I don't have fear. I'm confident because I do things despite the fear. Let me give you the complete formula. Step 1, understand that confidence is an output, not an input. You don't need to feel confident to take action. You take action to build confidence. Step 2, track your progress obsessively. Confidence comes from data, not dopamine. Your brain needs evidence to override emotional stories. Step 3, start so small you can't lose. Break everything down into tiny tweaks that are impossible to fail at. Step 4, take your fear with you. Don't try to eliminate it, tolerate it. Emotion follows motion, not the other way around. Step 5, build evidence over time Every small action you take adds to the pile of proof that you're capable of more than you think. Let me tell you, this system works because it aligns with how your brain actually functions. Your brain doesn't care about your affirmations or visualizations. It cares about evidence. Every time you do something you said you'd do, especially when you didn't feel like it, you're proving to your brain that you're reliable, capable, and trustworthy. Success doesn't discriminate. Confidence doesn't discriminate. It doesn't care where you came from, what your background is, or what your experience level is. It only cares that you put in the work to earn it. When you see people who seem naturally confident, they've done work you haven't done. They've built evidence you haven't built. They've tolerated discomfort you haven't tolerated. But that doesn't mean you can't. It just means you haven't started yet. Starting today, I want you to pick one area where you want to build confidence. Maybe it's speaking up in meetings, starting a side business, getting in shape, or having difficult conversations. Apply the formula. Choose one tiny action you can take today that moves you toward that goal. Make it so small, it's impossible to fail. Track it. Write it down. Take a photo. Make a note in your phone. Give your brain evidence. Feel the fear and do it anyway. Don't wait for the fear to go away. Take it with you. Repeat tomorrow, one tiny tweak, tracked and executed despite the fear. Build the evidence pile. Watch as your brain starts to believe in your capabilities because you've proven them with actions, not words. Here's what happens when you follow this system consistently. Confidence starts to compound. Each small action makes the next one easier. Each piece of evidence makes your brain more willing to believe in bigger possibilities. Each time you feel fear and do it anyway, you prove to yourself that fear isn't dangerous. Over time, you build so much evidence that it becomes unreasonable not to be confident. You're not faking it till you make it. You're building it till you earn it. Remember, the goal isn't to never feel scared. The goal is to be the person who feels scared and acts anyway. That's what separates confident people from everyone else. They're not fearless, they're fear tolerant. Building confidence is the first step to getting anything you want in life. You now have the formula. Action creates confidence, data builds identity, tiny tweaks prevent failure, and fear tolerance enables breakthrough. The question isn't whether you can become confident. The question is whether you're willing to do the work to earn it. Your brain is waiting for evidence. What evidence will you give it today? If you found this video helpful, this next video right here will take you even further. Your choice, your life. Start now.